Right, so if you did that multiplication, you figured out that sure enough, we had found the inverse. The original matrix times the one we found did multiply to give the identity matrix, as you figured out if you did it yourself. Okay, so that's not so bad. Let's do another example, one that's a little bit harder. What's the determinant? That's right, it's negative 2 minus 6. So it's negative 7. So if this is A inverse is going to start out with 1 over negative 7. Okay, and then what do we do with the other elements? Right, so these two just become negative, and this one switch. So that's basically the answer. And that's fine. That's a fraction in simplest form multiplied by a matrix like that. That's a fine way to write the answer. Another way would be to distribute the multiplication into the matrix. So negative 1/7 times that top element would just be 1/7. This element would be 3/7, 2/7, and negative 2/7. That's another way to write that matrix. Okay? Alright, so I don't think it's that hard. I think you can figure it out. You're going to get a chance to practice it. One thing to watch out for: if the matrix is not square, or if the determinant, and this is the symbol your calculator uses for determinant, DET, is equal to 0, then there's no inverse. Okay? Can't be done. Can't find an inverse. So watch out for that. Alright, the homework I'd like you to do to practice all this is on page 239, 11 to 45, odd. Okay? If you have to find the inverse of a matrix that's larger than 2 by 2, please do it with your calculator. And of course, the way you're going to do that is you're going to press second x to the negative 1 to get the matrix menu open. And then when you get the name of the matrix you want, let's say it's matrix A, great. The next thing you need to do is actually press this button again to put one of those up there, and that should find the inverse of the matrix. Okay? Alright guys, so good luck with that. That's the end of 4.3. I'll see you again for 4.4. Kolpak, out. So guys, I found another video for you about using the calculator to work on matrices, and it's going to follow this. Take a look, some of it's review, addition, subtraction, and all that, but there's also a part at the end about finding determinants, about finding inverses, and about how to change decimal entries into fractions. I think there's actually a student that did this, and it's really helpful. So enjoy. Bye-bye.
Hey YouTube, today I am going to be showing you how to do matrices on your graphing calculator. Okay, so first of all, what you want to do is find the matrix function button, which is above this button right over here. It says matrix. So what you want to do is press second function x to the negative 1, and you'll get a screen like this. So now you want to choose a matrix, go to edit, and then choose a section you want to put your matrix in. So I'm going to choose A. So you see I already have a matrix here. It's a 3 by 3 matrix. So what you want to do is choose your dimension. I chose a 3 by 3. And make sure when you're adding a matrix to another matrix that both of them are exactly the same dimension. So mine, you can see what my numbers are. So there's nothing to show more. So you just have to click in the numbers. Now what you want to do is quit and go back, go to another matrix and do the same. Whoops. Second function matrix. You go to edit and choose the next matrix. I already have a matrix here. I want to just tweak all the numbers. There you go. Now you quit. So you basically made your two matrices. So you now, what you want to do to add is go A plus, whoops, and A plus B, which equals to this sum. Okay, to subtract you do exactly the same thing, but you just put the subtract operation in between. And to multiply, you do the same. So you go A times B, which equals to this. But make sure that the column of A is equal to the rows of B. So the number of columns of A would be 3, and the number of rows of B would be 3, because they're a 3 by 3 matrix. But in any other matrix, make sure that their rows and columns are equal. Like the rows of A equal to the columns of A is equal to the rows of B. Okay. So next part of this is how to find the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix, which is quite difficult, but it's possible to find, but without using algebra. So you go to second function matrix, second function x to the power -1, go to math, and you'll see that there is a determinant function at number 1. So you press that, go back to matrix and choose the matrix you want to find the determinant for. I'll choose B, and the determinant ends up being 54. Okay, so now comes the next point, how to find the inverse. So now you choose your matrix, like for example I'll choose A, and I'll press x to the power -1. So the power of A is going to be -1. So now you have this, but we all know that you cannot have decimals in your matrix, it has to be a whole number. So now what you want to do is go to math, frac, which is number 1, and then enter. So you get a fraction. So you're left with this fraction. In a matrix. Or all you could have done is leave the we'll leave the determinant outside and the matrix inside. Well, there you have it.
Have any questions? Please do ask.